What is up?
All right. Yeah. Good morning, everyone. As everybody is coming in to this wonderful Sunday morning, glad to have you folks in here. If you guys can like, subscribe, and share the stream, that'd be really helpful. Try to get as many people in here as possible, especially for what's in your portfolio, because as always, we're going to do this once a month from now instead of once a week, and it's open. It's more of like an open questionnaire for you guys, so we can talk about your portfolios, why I'm investing in things, why Cody has his portfolio set up that way, what do we think about the future, things like that. But as always, thank you guys for joining in. You guys could be anywhere else, but you are here. So if you're watching, we really do appreciate you guys, and hopefully you guys enjoy this stream today. So going over some market basics right now. As everyone knows, the market has dipped down a little bit. Bitcoin dropped about $5,000 down to the 67,000 range. Ethereum dropped a little bit too. XRP dropped, but still maintaining above 60 cents. Polkadot dropped, hovering around $10 range. We have Chainlink dropping a little bit, about 2%. Then we have Cosmos dropping about a 0.25%. We have Hedera still up 1%. And we have Quant down here still holding close to 130, only dropping about a tenth of a percent. But they're still up about almost 9.25% on the last 7 days. We have the Greed and Fear Index at 82, and we have the market cap for the crypto markets at 2.55 trillion with a total trade volume of 149 billion. And of course, Ethereum dominance is at 16.9% and Bitcoin is at 51.8%. Obviously, we're having a little bit of a pullback. It is to be expected. You should expect people to take some profits, protect their positions, or just take profits and spend the money. They're going to be taking profits. Now, I did some dollar cost averaging yesterday, and like I said, I'm only really just buying Bitcoin, a little bit of Ethereum, but not much, Quant, Dot, and Chainlink. That's all I'm really buying right now. All my other positions, I am not really adding to them. I'm just kind of holding them. So, and of course, as far as stocks, I'm not really changing any of my stocks either. But if you guys looking over the last 2 months, so from the beginning of this year up till now, I have seen a nice heavy gain on my crypto portfolio. So what we experienced was like a 5 to 10% pullback, not really that much, just a little bit of volatility. And like I said, it is a good time to really dollar cost average across the board on whatever you're investing in. So, and for you guys that are new, the cryptos that I am involved in is Bitcoin, Ethereum, XRP, Dot, Quant, AdShare, Link, Litecoin, HBAR, Arbitrum, which is funny because Arbitrum is getting an airdrop too, along with Dot and Casper. So that's what my portfolio is. I had Solana, but I dumped Solana. I made my profit from 22. I was buying in 22 and 20 and 30 area to now I exited out at I think around $102, which hindsight, because I think what Solana is now getting close to 200, so I could have even doubled that. But that just goes to show you, take your profits when you feels right for you. Don't try to time these things because you'll never know. No one could ever know that Solana would have doubled from then. So, and then if you guys have been following us on every live, Cody's portfolio has been doing very well with his picks, although ours are very similar.
My three picks are Chainlink, Polkadot, and Quant. I only hold three altcoins. I don't hold any BTC or ETH, which is there's a reason behind that. And next cycle, I actually not even predict. I say I actually will be a Bitcoin maxi in the next bear market, and I'm waiting for, let's say Bitcoin hits all time high of like 150K or something like that, whatever all time high is in 2025. Um, I'm going to wait a year after that, and I'm going to take all the profits I made, or most of the profits I made from altcoins, and I'm going to buy a Bitcoin. Depends on what the price is, but I assume after that big run up to 150 to 170K, whatever it
Mhm.
goes to, I think the lowest it would go to is like 60,000. 60,000 would be like the new 16,000, 50,000. 50,
Yeah,
60,000 would be
yeah,
like the bear market low. That would be like buying Bitcoin at 16,000 in 2022. And that's what I'm saying. It's like you want to wait 6 months I'd say a year, but 6 months to a year after Bitcoin peaks to buy in, because historically that's always been the best time to buy in, a year after it peaks. The bear market, I've by next bear market, I have one previous bear market under my belt and two previous bull markets under my belt. So I mean, I'm pretty much gonna go all into BTC. That's the only crypto well, I don't even consider it crypto. I mean, you can call it whatever you want, but all in Bitcoin, because I want one coin or more, and I'm gonna hold it for a very long time.
yeah. After this bull market, I'm probably only going to have half the amount of coins in my
Bitcoin's like the
my
only
investment.
coin that actually has Bitcoin's the only one that you can actually say comfortably, I will hold this for 10 years. Like you can say that with Ethereum too, but it's like Bitcoin, it's the one that's all like that will outlast anything. It's the king. It's the one that's no matter what narrative, how strong your altcoin is, how fast it is, what
Mhm.
kind of NFT marketplace, it doesn't matter. I always say Bitcoin will be king. And I sound like a fucking Bitcoin maximalist right now, but I hold a bunch of altcoins. I'm an altcoin guy right now, but the reason why is because I want to buy a lot of Bitcoin one day. Like that should be your goal. If you are, in my opinion, if you believe in crypto, if you invest in crypto, you need to stop thinking in USD terms. You need to think of Bitcoin terms. Like, yes, your altcoin might be doing good, and I sound like Benjamin Cohen. Your altcoin might be doing good in USD terms, but in Bitcoin terms, like you always want to compare it to Bitcoin. And if I could go back, I probably would have gone all in, because I would probably have close to a whole Bitcoin, but then again, my alts will most likely outperform that.
Yeah, and you have your bigger return on investment on a lot on picking the right altcoin, but you're getting stable gains with Bitcoin. No matter what happens, it seems to rebound. And Cody is right. Like this 60,000 range, oh, excuse me, is probably the
Gonna be
new
the bear
new
market bottom.
yeah, and we're probably going to see over 100,000 very very soon.
I
Now
think
I'm not
150 might be conservative.
maybe, but I'm not with some of these guys. There's a lot of people now saying Bitcoin to 1 million.
No, that's
That would be,
ridiculous.
I mean, that would be phenomenal for me for what I have in Bitcoin, but it's not going to happen. Not this year. Not even in the next 4 years. It's probably
It
going to
would
take a
take another decade to 15 years for Bitcoin to hit $1 million.
yeah, that's why I'm saying I'm thinking real conservative, 120, 130,000. But with the advent, and this is probably going to be the biggest bull run crypto's ever seen, probably the last big bull run cryptos will ever see.
Yeah, a lot of people. I've seen a lot of talk about that. This being, the last bull market.
And I'm not saying it because crypto's going to go someplace, it's going to disappear. I'm saying that because I think it's going to have enough people in it that there's going to be less volatility because
Diminishing
not even
returns.
currency isn't as volatile as crypto, but that's because there's so little people, so momentum can swing wildly, very quickly and very fast. That's the reason. But you have a lot of factors that can cause like a golden swan event with crypto. not only do we have institutions getting involved, regulations coming that's not going to be as strict, we have governments getting involved in it, and we have big traditional investors and fund managers getting involved in it. But you have the influencers and the Tate effect pushing the 20 to 30-year-old, or even the 15-year-old to 30-year-old men, young men, into this space trying to make as much money as they can. You got a lot of people my age, Gen Xers, who are getting into this space as an alternative investment to their stocks and 401ks and funds. So you have a lot of people kind of converging, and they're converging now because the economy's dipping, not kind of slow. People think the bubble popped. The bubble didn't really pop on the economy. What happens is the air is just being let out of the balloon, and it's just slowly going, down. So just bear with that. You're probably not going to have. We're probably not going to have a crash, but we are going to have a lot of people switching from traditional investments, or people who never invested who are saying, look, I need to make money to cover gaps, and they're coming into crypto. Shout out to Crypto Dream. Welcome in. Shout out to DYOFR. Good morning to you too, buddy. Glad to have you folks in here. As you guys know, we'll have open forum in a little bit. You guys can come in, talk one at a time to talk about your portfolio questions. Do your call out your stock picks, things like that. We're here for you, and we're ready to answer your questions on that. Um, but as far as my portfolio, it is up. I mean, I'm up like goddamn. I'm up like of over. Like I'm coming up on almost doubling my crypto portfolio if this trend continues for the next 3 months. I think. But I'm also dollar cost averaging in. So I have to really go back in, take out what I dollar cost averaged in to give you guys a good sense of what I really gained. But I've been dollar cost averaging in, not like Cody, where Cody is following the actual dollar cost average, where he's just a scheduled buy and hold like every 2 weeks. Every time he gets paid, he buys dollar cost averages in a little bit. That's probably the best way, because you're not trying to time it, you're just trying to accumulate. That's all. But so far, from last month till now, I have had a 20% increase on my holdings. And that includes the Pi token, which you can't really sell it yet, but it doubled in value. And I've been mining it the last whole 3 years for you guys. With my stocks, I am up 12% on my stocks. So we're looking at the stocks I am holding are Bank of America, Walmart, Coinbase, Healthcare Association, AT&T Mobility, Apple, Microsoft, and Porch Moving Group. Now, great news is Walmart did a 3-for-1 split. So in the next 10 years, that my holdings is going to double. And I've been adding into my Walmart position, like dollar cost averaging in consistently, because it's now under 100,000, and or not, sorry, it's under $100. So it makes sense for me to just keep dollar cost averaging in, because when the economy dips, Walmart does very, very well. Very, very well. And another place that does very well is Healthcare Association. So I'm going to kind of stay on that because they pay great dividends. I'm no longer in NLY or ORC and BlackRock because they are too exposed to mortgages and student loan debt ownership. And that's where a lot of the dividends are coming from. So I just kind of backed out of it because I have a feeling there's going to be a huge default in student loans. And I've been holding those stocks for a while. So not as long as the others, but about 3.5 years. So, and I've been making great dividends on them. But now's the time to exit out because I have a distinct feeling that that I have a distinct feeling that it will like the student loan market will collapse. I'm sorry, I was trying to put my words together for you guys, but I have a feeling like the student loan bubble is gonna pop. That's gonna be a pop, and it's gonna be a reset, and we'll have to see what happens because if enough people refuse, like if you have like 20 million people refusing to pay, that's it. That the system crumbles. Shout out to Crypto Dream. Let's put that on the screen there. Our split's good for dividends. Also, remember Walmart sold a ton of stock, like a bunch of billionaires did. That is true too. They sold their
It's the
stock,
same.
the stock split.
It's the same thing as like a crypto, like the Ethereum Foundation selling Ethereum, Chainlink selling. Like it happens with crypto too. The only thing that it doesn't happen with is Bitcoin, and unless you got the early whales dumping their Bitcoin, that's it. But that's a given thing. They're all gonna sell their stock. It doesn't matter who it is or what it is.
Well, you guys also got to realize when you get that wealthy, billionaires don't cash out their stocks. They take loans against their stocks as and don't pay taxes on that loan. What's happening is that before the split, they probably said it's better to just pay the loan, whatever they took off, with selling stock, and then letting the stock split happen, and you regain your position because with a stock split, 10 years down the road, you're going to be 3 times what you had. And if you keep buying stock as you go, when you get the true value of the company, you will get more. So in the short term, you don't make as much on dividends, but in the long term, you'll make way more as long as you don't sell your position in that stock. But if you had held IBM since the 70s, if you got IBM in the 70s, just held it and had $10,000 in IBM at the time, today you would have close to 15 million after all the stock splits and everything. Stock splits on a healthy company are very, very good. Now, usually they do a stock split. Now, usually what most corporations do, healthy corporations, is they do a stock split, and then over the course of 3 years, they kind of buy back stock, which kind of pumps the stock up a little bit because there's less in circulation. So that's what they kind of do. They stock split so everybody has more stock for the same value, and then they start buying back the stock while giving out dividends, so you increase your net worth. So before the stock split, I had a total of with Walmart, I had a total of 1,500 shares, and then it splits, and then I had 4,500 shares. Now I'm just dollar cost averaging. Shout out to
And
DYO.
that's why being a oh, I'm sorry.
Oh no, go ahead, Cody. I'll shout you out, uh, DY in a second. Go ahead,
No,
Cody.
I'm saying that's why being a holder, like people make fun of bag holders and all that, but it's like that's why being a long term holder matters.
Exactly. Shout out to DYOFR. Yeah, they. What I'm talking about is not available to 99% of us. Even myself, I can't do it. But it's available to someone who has like 5% controlling shares of a company. So if you're a billionaire, you probably have like 500 or 600 million dollars worth of shares. Now, keep in mind, they're not taking 500 million, but they're probably like, if they bought a penthouse, and when they say they buy a penthouse in cash, they take a loan for like 50 million against their stock, buy the penthouse, and then if a stock split happens, they just give the stock as payment as to pay off the loan. But it only works with blue chip companies. Like you couldn't do that with like a 10-year-old tech company that hasn't proven consistent revenue. But you can do that with Coca-Cola stock, which has been around for 150 years. So, but yeah, you can take a loan, but that's against your stock. But that's a little different than what I'm talking about because they don't have like an interest. They don't have like a payment schedule. What they have is I'll take out the loan against using my stock as collateral, and I have a full payback plus interest at 18 months from now. That's what they have. That's what I'm talking about. And it's usually only offered to very high net worth people. Not even if you're worth $100 million, they generally wouldn't do it for you. Like, you'd have to be worth billions to do it. And underwriting that for bankers, like, we used to make a ton of money on that because that was like an easy cut $500,000 commission check if you wrote one of those, because they're getting stock, which the bank needs stock to kind of shore up their assets. But and if your portfolio is less than 10 million, I would not recommend taking a loan out on it at all.
And see, that's what I was thinking on that. Honestly, like if I was thinking, like if you're under $10 million, you don't want to take. I actually thought about that one day. If you're under $10 million, you don't want to take a loan against your assets.
No, not yet, because stocks are risky, and those type of loans can get called. And like Fidelity, even though they'll tell you, like, they give you grace periods and stuff like that, but technically any loan against your stock portfolio can be called and made payment by the close of the market day. So that means you might have to pay back $100,000 by close of 4 p.m. So just realize that. I wouldn't do it yet. I would do it when your portfolio is over 10 million, because then if you are borrowing like 500,000, you can just say, "Well, take 500 worth of stock out of my portfolio." Don't do it when you have 500,000 and you're borrowing 100,000, because that could hurt your trajectory. And they might just close your account period with them, because you might be a liability. They think if you're taking risks now, the risks are just going to be too big when you get more net worth. Wait till you have at least 10 million before you start borrowing against it. That way you can survive if you get a loan call. It's the same thing with business. Don't try to get a loan on your business until your cash flow is consistent, steady, and has a steady trajectory. Because then if it gets called, your business doesn't suffer. But speaking of businesses, as you guys know, I own 4 businesses. Construction, we already hit what we earned last year, end of February. So it's looking like we're going to 5x our revenue in construction. And to be honest with you guys, we aren't building anything big. We're building like Wendy's, Starbucks. What are those? What's that other one? Like 7 Brews, car washes, uh small warehouse spaces. That's what we're building. Just small little brick and mortar buildings. Nothing fabulous, nothing crazy, and we're able to double our money on those. And I don't know what it is, but Starbucks, Wendy's, what's the other one? What's the other? Domino's. Domino's is a good. They've been building like crazy. It's kind of making me want to go look at Domino's, because they have been building Domino locations like crazy. Like, we have an order. We have 4 construction teams, and they're all booked for the entire year with just Wendy's, Domino's, Starbucks, and 7 Brews. Like, that's how much we're built out for the year. So we've already 5x our revenue off of that, and it's allowing us. I'm spending $2 million with my partner, who's going to spend another 2 million of our own money to put into the business, to buy just all the equipment, like dump trucks, concrete trucks, all the excavators, flatbeds, transportation equipment, all that stuff. So we're growing fast, but we're doing it smart, because we're not borrowing any money. We use the existing cash to get the job, and then we make sure we have a reserve fund for that business. So construction is doing really well. I'm probably going to have a phenomenal year there. The furniture store, we're finally not bleeding. Looks like this quarter is going to make a profit, and now I can focus on what direction I truly want to go with the furniture store. with the furniture store chains because I'm not trying to be discount retailer. Those guys, there's too many of those guys out there. They're too vicious. I'm moving more towards upscale, best quality furniture for the best quality price. That's what I'm trying to do. And with my experience in it, I think I could select out the manufacturers that will make that happen for me. And we've already got it all set. We spent a good chunk of the profit getting in this new lines, but also got to start reserving for that business because the previous owner that I bought the business from did not do a really good job at reserving. And that kind of brings me to a point a little later, but you want to reserve for your business. If your business is doing well, don't start living a high life. Start reserving for your business because you want your business to succeed long term, not short term. And of course, my moving and logistics company, really my home services company, they're starting to pick up like crazy. And it's looking like we're going to have to start hiring. And I bought 6 trucks, 6 Mack trucks, 26-foot box trucks. And they look pretty cool. And I like them. Because I like that new, I don't know, I just like the look of a Mack truck. Just me. And we're also getting into CDL trucks and everything. So that's pretty much it there on that front. Like there's not really much else that I have going on. It's like it seems like the economy's turning around, but let me tell you, my gut feeling is that the economy's going to do really great this year, but it's going to be kind of like how a flame burns brightest right before it goes out. That's just my thoughts. Cody works at a convenience store, and he kind of can see the habits that people are forming and doing. And I think it was over the winter, people were only
Yes.
in like what, $10, $15 in gas. They weren't doing a lot.
It's still like that. It's still like that. You can tell by working in those areas how the economy's doing.
Absolutely. Absolutely. Sorry, I'm just writing a text here. But it's just interesting because I'm seeing different spending habits. Like on our home services side, we have upholstery cleaning for couches. And I'm noticing that's picking up. And in the furniture store side, I'm noticing couches are like sales of living room furniture, which, if you guys don't know, in furniture sales, living room furniture sells the most because all of us use it. And hey, we're Americans like me, we're all fat asses, and it wears that shit out. So it's every 5 years, people are buying new. That's not happening anymore. They're slowly declining, and people are trying to clean and make what they have look nicer. Or the other thing is people are getting stuffing. Like you guys can go to a furniture store and you can order stuffing for the cushions. So you can restuff your cushions instead of having to buy a new mattress. So it's just, to me, it's just it's just interesting to watch and see where people's habits are going, where their spending is going. Shout out to Crypto Dream. I'm way too paranoid. Uh, Being paranoid can be a good asset to investing and building running a business, because if you're paranoid, you'll always keep a reserve fund. You won't ever like spend every dime that you have. Unfortunately, though, if you're building a new business, your first 5 years, you're going to spend every dime that you have because it's so inconsistent. Like, I didn't really get consistency in my clients in my moving company until really this year. Like, this year has been the easiest with consistency. Like, it's just steady booking, steady booking. That's all it is. And before, I used to book, I'd have like steady booking, and then I'd have like a week with nothing, and then it would pick right up again. So you'd have to have money to cover those weeks where you'd have to spend out money, and then you hope that the next week you get it back. Now I'm in a position, I each site generally reserves about 15 to 20,000 per week, which is nice because now, like, I got Tulsa area is skyrocketing with cleans and all that stuff, and we're getting more business contracts and everything. So they're looking to double the revenue. Last year they did 1.1 million. This year they're looking to do 2.5 at the pace they're running at. I have another site that we just started, which should be averaging 500,000 with the small team they have, and they're getting ready to average like 700 to maybe 800 this year. So it's looking like things are getting back to normal, but I still feel like once we get to October, like we're going to have a black swan event somewhere that's going to pop the economy.
Really?
Just my gut feeling, because it hasn't happened in March, and that's when it's happening. We still got a lot of March left, but it's not looking like it's happening. So the next place that all the downturns happen is October, but this will be the first election year since 1929, the year before an election, or the year of an election, or a year before that. You know, you're going into an election year, but we're going into the election with a crash being possibly imminent right before people go to the ballot box. Hoover lost because it happened right at the start of the election year, and everybody got pissed at Hoover for the Great Depression start, so they kicked him out. If that happens in October, then be sure in November, upon people going to those polls, if you're a Democratic incumbent, you'll be kicked out. If you're a Republican incumbent, it'll just be switched. That's all will happen. Shout out to Crypto Dream. Have you heard the conspiracy after the Oklahoma newspaper talked about the eclipse? I've seen people talk about it, but I actually don't know what that conspiracy is. But people talk a lot of conspiracies. So there's always some conspiracy going on. I'll have to look that one up though. It sounds interesting every time I see it, but it's like just one of those things that to be honest, I haven't really looked into, and I usually don't pay attention to those type of theories because sometimes they're wild and crazy, and they're really just an unbiased thought, or it's just a fearful thought that people are spreading, and it becomes more believable with more people spreading it. So, but it would just be pretty interesting to see what's going on, what happened, you know. But I did see, so thank you, Crypto Dream. I did see you share that video, so I'll go check it out once we're done with the stream in a little bit. But if you guys are still thinking about this year, still a good year, just a dollar cost average in. But keep in mind, with stocks, this is probably going to be the top of the market, the absolute top. I think we're going to have a correction of 15% in the stock market, either before the election or definitely after the election.
Yep.
And the economy is going to start pulling back like a tide, just pull all the way back. But I also want to make this note, because the economy is kind of in this wishy-washy state and kind of going forward, pulling back, scammers are in full force, whether it's real estate, business, internet crap, crypto crap, pump and dump schemes. They are in full force. So be prepared and be skeptical of those things because they are coming out. They are coming out. They're coming out of the woodworks. Like new ones come out all the time. But you're also going to see a lot of ones that were running because now people don't have the money to keep investing like that. They're going to get caught. And you're going to start seeing more and more convictions on it. Shout out to DY. Raw, I think it's RuPaul was saying on a podcast that if you are routinely pessimistic, you will need to change your mental model to allow yourself to profit from a bull market. That's true. Like you can't always see the negative side. You have to be able to see a positive side so you can make money. But as everyone's getting, euphoric and happy in a bull market, the best thing you do is get skeptical and be a little pessimistic to understand that this euphoria can't last forever. So I got to pull out. So I got to get out. I got to get out of town. Because what's going to happen is you're gonna be stuck with that hot potato as it's gonna blow up in your face, and you don't want to do that. You wanna pass that potato off to someone else and then exit out. And then when everyone's down at the bottom and they're trying to cash out, then you come back in and you can buy back your original investments at a hefty discount. That's kind of like why if you guys are into crypto right now, because you're going to get the crypto boom and you're going to make a lot of money, and then you're going to see the economy go down, and you're going to take that money and you're going to put it into stocks and real estate. That should be your plan with with this crypto bull run, because stocks and real estate will be at an all-time low. Also, remember, we're going to see a lot of unemployment from real estate agents, because there's a lot of people who became real estate agents for easy money, and
Yeah.
now that's all, it's gone.
Me personally, though, I do want to buy a lot of Bitcoin. Like at once I take my altcoin profits, like just mainly because of the long term. Like I really do want to own over one Bitcoin one day.
Yep. And if you guys have a business right now, just remember the point of the business is to generate cash flow so you can buy things like Bitcoin, Ethereum, or stocks or real estate to create other avenues of income. Now, you don't make direct income off of really crypto, because really what we do is we sell it and we cut the profits, and that's how we make the income off of it. And we're hoping in 3 or 4 years, when the next bull run happens, as per dollar cost averaging, that we are making money off of what we're investing in. I don't really have too much other to say. And it's like, I'm thinking it's going to be a euphoric summer. I think everybody's going to be kind of happy. And I think they want everybody to be happy before they go to the polls. So I think everyone.
I was thinking for crypto specifically, it was going to be a summer lull because even historically, the summertime has always been slow for crypto. I mean, in 2019, we had DeFi summer, but that was really it, other than DeFi summer when, DeFi applications were popping and going crazy. But nowadays, it's like since 2021 bull run, the summertime, Bitcoin was stuck at 28 to 30,000. 2022, it didn't do well in the summertime either. 2023, we had the Binance FUD. We had the SEC calling stuff securities. And this summer, I see it kind of being, for crypto at least. I don't know about stocks and anything else, but for crypto, I see it being like a lull.
Well, to be honest, I don't think there'll be a lull, because you got to remember there's so many influencers out there telling a lot of young men from 15 to 35 to get your shit together. You got one job, get a second job. Got two jobs, get a third job. Like they're taking the Kevin Samuels route where he was telling you should be working like 18 hours a day and sleeping 6. Like that's what you should be focused on. And if you're single, that's a lot of money. And what they're going to start doing is they're going to start investing it. And most young people are investing in crypto. So all of that push, especially with, people starting to spend a little bit more, service industry is going to get more money. Wages are going up, even though they're going up very slowly, but they're going up. There's going to be a little bit more money, and people are going to put that extra money into crypto because they believe it's the fastest way to make wealth. And that's what young people are going to do. But DY, let me talk about the real estate agent. A lot of them, they're 1099 employees, so they count towards unemployment, even though they're really like subcontracted. But most real estate agents aren't a lead broker. So what most real estate agents that you see, they don't make as much money as you think. They just kind of do the in-person reaction. There's someone that owns the brokerage, that is the lead broker, that kind of finalizes all the transactions. That person is experienced, well-versed, and excellent at sales. 90% of that staff in that office is not good at sales. And the average real estate agent sells 1 to 2 homes per year. So you can make a lot of money. There's potential, but it's a very, very sales driven job. Very sales driven job. So what's going to happen is those people who are only selling 1 to 2 homes per year are going to fall out. They're gonna quit because under 6%, these guys could make $30,000-$40,000 off of one house. Now you're talking about, and with all the cuts, you're talking about making 5 to 6 thousand, which is good if you're selling one house per month. But if that's one house, 2 houses per year, that's not enough. Like there's a couple real estate agents in my network. A great lady named Shauna Greer. She sells 2 houses per month, but she is a lead broker and has her own brokerage firm and has a license in Missouri and Arkansas. So, and she sells houses no less than like 400,000. She'll sell a couple small houses, townhouses, stuff like that. But once a month, she sells $1 million house. And then she makes a crap ton of money off of it because she's the lead broker, so she does everything. So she gets the full 6%. So once a month, she's getting $60,000 minimum, and then she's selling all the other little stuff. So she does a lot of work, and she's smart with it. She's investing. Not all real estate agents are like her. She's very experienced, very knowledgeable, excellent at sales, and excellent at emotional intelligence, and really knows how to bring it all together to really sell the person or her client the right house. Most real estate agents, if it's raining, they don't want to come out and do the work. Cody and I had the same thing. We had movers like, oh, it's raining, it's cold, I don't want to come out.
I remember Oh, sorry.
No, I was just saying. So you got to be ready to come out and hit the trail with gun blazings at all times. You got to be ready to win, whether you're in real estate, business. It doesn't matter what you're doing. You got to be ready to win. But go ahead, Cody.
No, I was saying I remember I worked at Lowe's, and I remember we were delivering a shit ton of dry rock to this person's house.
Yeah.
And it started raining, and one of our guys, he was a young guy, and he just abandoned the job. He just went home, literally just drove off because he didn't want to be outside. And it was me and some other guy. We just took us like 2 or 3 hours, but we got all that dry rock in. Ooh.
Yeah, and we gotta remember Cody was a pretty skinny and langly guy. He's still tall because he's still growing like a goddamn tree, but even Cody working like the 4 months on the moving side before he went into my sales office, he gained a shit ton of muscle. And that was just because he just said, I'm just going to do it. And instead of like other people, oh, I'm too tired and run away, he said, I'm too weak. I'm going to go to the gym and try to get stronger. And he got significantly stronger. So you got to have that type of attitude with anything if you want to succeed. Shout out to Crypto Dream. Do you know about the bill or whatever that's supposed to destroy side hustles? Yes. And mainly because side hustles aren't taxed as much as you guys think. Now, Uber Eats, those delivery jobs, those DoorDash jobs, those get taxed. But we're talking about the side hustles where you're working and you're like you might be knitting socks and selling them on eBay.
And
But
you
you're
can't
only
say,
making like $200 or $300 a week on it, but it's a side hustle.
yeah.
And what they want to do is tax that because there's no way really to track that. And if you're doing that, but you're going down to like a flea market sale, getting a booth there, they have no idea what money you're making because it's all cash transactions. So,
Yep.
so you see where they're coming from because the government is in a cash crunch. Right? You got to think of the government is in the position where most middle class people are right now. I got too much debt, not enough income. And the only way government can make more income is they got to tax the hell out of its citizenry.
Yes.
That's
Just like crypto. The only reason why, that's allowed, and even is still a thing because it's taxed. That's
Yes,
what I was thinking about the other day. Crypto taxes. The government makes a lot. That I feel like they want a bull run to come. They want people to make money in crypto so they could just be taxed.
exactly. They're gonna the capital gains, and capital gains is increasing. Because let me tell you, capital gains used to be
Oh yeah. Oh for
crap.
sure.
Like you're talking about, you can make $1 million off of a equity position, and you pay 8%. Now you're talking about 28, 32% if you're in California total off of those equity. But to get back to your crypto dream, yes, it's the side hustles. They want to tax the side hustle arena. They don't want to get rid of it. But unfortunately, when you start doing this, people are going to get rid of it. Because I know plenty of guys that sold shirts on the weekends, made their own designer clothes and sold them. Um, I know a lot of women who knitted blankets, socks, hats, mittens, and they just do a side hustle with it. There's a lot of women right now at bake sales in these churches down here that make $300 or $400. Like, it's not just like doing side hustles on the internet, like YouTube, TikTok, and all that. Yeah, there's a lot of people who pay for the gap in their finances for that, but those are taxed because it's traceable. It's the people who are making like five, six, sometimes some of these people are making like $3,000 or $4,000 extra a month to cover, or just extra money that they save for emergencies. Like, that's the side hustles that are going to get hurt. Because now what's going to happen if this bill passes, then you have to report that income like tips. And if you don't report it, you can get in some huge trouble. Although, to be honest, guys, the IRS doesn't give a shit about you unless if you are a celebrity. Like, there was a comedian that didn't file taxes for like 20 years, but he wasn't making enough to file. He was making like $8,000 a year until he made it big. Then he filed his taxes, and they didn't really bother him. So, like, they bother the people that they want to take down, not really the people. Like, they'll be like, you owe us money, you gonna pay it off? Okay, got payment plan. All right, whatever. Cut it in half. Just pay us something like that. That's what the IRS really is. They'll come to you and say, you owe us a couple $100,000. Oh, you don't? Oh, 50. Okay, let's settle for 25. Just pay it off when you can. Like, that's usually how the IRS is. Um, Shout out to DY. Hope you like me calling you DY, because the whole acronym there, it's just a little too much, especially since I'm clogged up with allergies. Don't work 18 hours. Sell digital products online so you can make money in your sleep. Um, you can do that. That's also a good way. But there's a lot of side hustles that can make a lot of money. Like if you're going to night school and you're trying to get a degree while working, and you have a 9 to 5, and let's just say it's an all online, which most of them are nowadays, go get a security job. Most of them don't care that you're doing your online classes while you're sitting there in the room watching monitors. They just don't want you falling asleep in there. That's all. But you got to do it smart too. But in my situation, when I was Cody's age, I had the opportunity, I worked in banking. So I was just able to, the more hours I worked, the more clients I reached. That's how I looked at it. And then the more money I made. But you don't want to work yourself to death. But if you're young, you can do that for 3 or 4 years, or as long as you think you can do it, and then save and bank all the money till when you're till when you're ready to stop, or put it into investments, you know. But it's also about managing your finances as well. All you got to do is try to spend much less money than the money that you're bringing in. If you're bringing in 3,000, try to only spend out 2,000, and you'll end up winning. That's why people say Dave Ramsey's out of touch, but the way to make wealth is the same as it's always been, no matter what inflation is. Spend less than you make. Same for business. Spend less than you make. That's it. That's really it. Oh, excuse me. So, but hey, thank you guys so much for contributing in there. Love to have you guys. Believe it or not, we like answering your guys' questions. So, have it. Although we're probably gonna have to get off in a little bit because I'm about ready to go out and do some canvassing for my moving side.
And I'm going into work.
Yeah, Cody's got to go into work in a little bit. But there really is nothing to be fearful about what's coming. I try not to put my emotions into it, fear or euphoria. I try to think as logically as possible about investments. That way I'm making as much money as I possibly can to my risk levels. But everyone's got to do what's right for them. You got to find out what do you think is going to work for you. Although if you guys are looking to get into real estate in the next coming years, it's probably going to look like a really good place. And as always, people need houses. They're going to need houses. And there's always someone that over leveraged themselves is going into foreclosure. So you can get a good deal on a good property. I got a good deal on a property down in Queen for like $75,000, a 3-bedroom, like 1,800 square foot house. I am fixing it up. I'm putting in another $30,000 in work because it needs total new flooring. I mean, this house brought me back to my childhood. It all looked like it was nothing was done from the 80s. It even had the original dishwasher and ovens that were put into the house when it was built, because they had the mechanical dials, not the digital. So it was pretty interesting. I wish we could have saved, because they were in terrible condition, but wish we could have saved them, because they were just timepieces, and they still worked, but they looked old and rickety. But maybe one day I'll be able to get down there and show you some prices of the house. But I bought it cash for $75K, got a rehab loan for 5% from the SBA to rehab the property for $30,000. Put new floors in, put new bathroom stuff in, redid the bathrooms, and redid the kitchen, and still have $5,000 left over. And I can rent that out for. Let me pull up a calculator, because the taxes down in Queen, Arkansas. Ooh, those are like, was it? It's like $832. Although it's probably going to go up once the house gets reassessed, divided by 12. Oops. 12. Yeah, $70 a month in taxes. My rent on the place is $1,000, and it has a 2-car garage. I will probably have a tenant in there by the end of this month, and they'll probably stay, because where are you going to get a 3-bedroom house with a garage and a backyard for $1,000 a month? But I'm able to do that because I found a good situation to where I can undercut my competitors and offer a quality product. Best quality for the best price. I don't believe I should be jacking you of all your money for your housing. That's why I don't buy new housing to rent out. I don't like doing that, unless if I get it off a short sale, because the developer was an idiot and over leveraged themselves, or whoever was trying to be a real estate kingpin over leveraged themselves. You got to find properties like that, and you don't have to go to areas where it's booming population. You just need to find places where there are hard workers, there are people who have jobs, and they need a place to live. And there's small towns that have steady work for people that you can make a lot of money. But you just got to make sure, if you're going to do that, travel out to the town, see what the town is like, talk to some people in the area, attend a local church to see how people are. That way you can get a good environment. It's just a good place to get a house to rent out. Things like that. And don't get one like 10 states away. Like most of the properties I own that are rentals are within a 4-hour drive from me. I'm not trying to, except for 2 that are down in Daytona Beach because I use them as ocean rentals and they make a lot of money for short-term rentals. It was like Airbnb, but before Airbnb was a thing. Because you just get there's a rental property that manages it all, and all I have to do is just fix the problems when they're told to me and collect the money. That's all. And they take care of everything else, booking, cleaning, and all that stuff. So, and it makes quite a bit of money because it's oceanfront condos. But with that said, that's all we got for what's in your portfolio. If you guys want to see all our other lives, you can go to our YouTube channel, go to our live tab and just watch them all. There's tons of lives there. And we get tons of videos there. Like and subscribe. Help us grow. I think we're at 316 subscribers and we're still growing nice and steadily. Steady growth. That's what I like. So hopefully we will keep growing with your guys' help. And we really do appreciate all you guys joining in because, as always, these lives and this channel is sponsored by you guys coming in and watching and hitting that like and subscribe button. So I really appreciate you guys because you could be anywhere else. And even when we had nobody in here, Cody and I were still just talking and talking.
Yes, facts.
So we'll always enjoy talking about finances and investments and business. And hopefully we get more people and you guys can join in. But really appreciate you guys joining in. Thank you so much. Catch us tomorrow for morning market news in Monday morning. And we will see you guys tomorrow. Have a wonderful and safe Sunday. Also, don't invest more than you're willing to lose and always do your own research. With that said, guys, we're checking out. Have a wonderful day. Hope to see you next time. Like and subscribe.